Welcome back to Autism at Home, brought to you by us at Early Autism Project Malaysia through our non-profit initiative, The Hope Project. My name is Joshebet Isaacs, and it's so nice to see you again. And welcome to our series on safety. In the first lesson, we talked about the importance of safety, especially when it comes to children on the autism spectrum. In lesson 2, we discussed the safety measures at home. In this lesson, we will be focusing on children wandering out of their home or even in the community. I'm here together with Charmaine Quay, our head of clinical, and so let's get right into it. We have worked with individuals with autism who have wandered out from their homes or away from their family in public places, and it is extremely concerning. Wandering is defined by when someone leaves a safe area or a responsible caregiver. When a child wanders, they can usually get injured or harmed in one way or another. Individuals with disabilities such as autism may find it challenging to fully grasp these safety concerns and to communicate with others. So this is a key area of concern with a number of children that we have worked with. Right, Charmaine?
Absolutely. In a study published in the Pediatrics Journal in 2012, the results yielded are significant indeed. Out of 1,218 children on the autism spectrum who participated in the study, almost 50% of them had wandered off from common places like home, school, or other safe places at least one time after they turned 4. Many of them were gone long enough that they then became at risk for drowning and traffic-related accidents.
That is very alarming for sure. As a mom of 2 little kids myself, you always have to be on your toes, especially as they are so curious. The added challenges for a child with autism, like their lack of understanding or challenges with communication skills and lack of awareness of the potential dangers, place them at a much higher risk. You can only imagine the other dangers they're exposed to once a child has actually wandered off. And so as usual, we're going to talk about preventative strategies, teaching strategies, as well as reactive strategies. First up, preventative strategies. Very similar to our last lesson on safety at home, here are some key tips. Always keep the doors and entrances locked at all times, and keep the house keys out of your child's reach. For any child with special needs, it's always best to have adult supervision all the time. This is also a recommendation by the American Academy of Pediatrics, at least until children in general reach a certain age where they can be independent and safe on their own wherever they go. It may also be beneficial to have an information kit about your child, which will be useful in the event your child wanders off from home. Lastly but not least is to have your child wear a GPS tracker that is similar to a watch. Just do remember to keep this charged, and this will be particularly important when going out in the community. Or even just an ID bracelet with their name and parents' contact details, so in the event they get lost, hopefully someone is able to help them by contacting their parents. So that's prevention. Now what about the skills that we will need to teach?
Yes, there are key safety skills in this area that we can teach children to safeguard themselves. The first is communication. This is vital, and if a child can learn to request to go out or to go wherever they want to go, this will immediately minimize the risk of wandering off on their own. Secondly is to teach boundary rules. Similar to our previous lesson, this would be no-go zones or only with an adult. What is very important here is that the child is able to cooperate to those limits that you are setting. Next is to teach children the skill of staying with the accompanying adult when they are out and about. This will be discussed further in lesson 5 of this series. Then it is important to teach a child what to do if they do get lost or separated from their parents. They could simply go to the information counters or to identify security guards or police officers for help. For children who have a higher level of comprehension, learning to own a mobile phone and making emergency calls can be taught, and this can be very useful indeed. There are of course additional life skills that would be extremely important for children, such as swimming.
All the above mentioned skills can be taught through similar strategies. We would usually recommend a social story and/or a video model so your child can understand clearly what we are trying to teach them. Then to break the skill down, and initially you will need to prompt your child for the right response, then gradually fade the prompts. Don't forget to reinforce after each attempt and to ensure you're giving it enough practice.
So, we have gone over preventative and teaching strategies. We still need to talk about reactive strategies. The moment you realize your child is not with you, immediately alert other adults so that they are able to help you search for your child as soon as possible. It is advised to immediately go to any water areas such as swimming pool, fountains, and also to your child's favorite locations. Hence why having a search party immediately helps, and one person can help to alert the authorities. We had a couple of students who walked out of their homes onto the main road, likely walking to their favorite fast food restaurants.
Pub quiz. You are starting to implement the wearing of the GPS tracker with your 4-year-old child who has autism. However, when placed on his wrist, your child starts pushing it away. What should be the first thing that comes to your mind? Just force him to wear the GPS tracker? Forget about it and think of another strategy? Threaten him that he will get lost and use fear to make him wear it? Work out the desensitization plan and start where he is successful, using strong motivation and gradually building up his tolerance to this. We try to avoid force and fear as a strategy and instead to use external reinforcement in order to gain intrinsic motivation. For long-term success, focus on working out a plan to build a tolerance to wearing the bracelet or the tracker and for him to be independent and safe.
Now it's your turn. After ensuring all preventative measures are in place, such as securing and locking entrances and keeping keys away, check if your child has any tendency to go out of the house on his own. If yes, break down the communication skill of requesting to go out. Then discuss with your spouse and other family members living in your house on sharing the responsibility to safeguard your child. Work out a schedule and assignment of family members to run this practice with your child. So that's it for our lesson on wandering. In the next lesson, we will be talking about safety in the car. Do stay tuned. If you haven't already, do check out our free online resource platform, Autism at Home, which has all the corresponding articles and downloadables for you. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Instagram and Facebook to stay updated. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you soon.